Okay, so this presentation is all about the power of stories in blockchain's quest for diversity. And we're going to touch on why blockchain or diversity and inclusion is so important within the blockchain realm. Well, but first off, let's just talk about stories. So welcome. Stories have the power to create social change and inspire community. When we are in a situation and we want to find out how other people overcame a struggle or a problem, even if it is in a business context, we refer to their narratives, their testimonials. Um, we refer to the term testimony, within a spiritual setting. Testimonies, prose fiction, fables, fairy tales. They're all stories that can assist us in our journey in life, and business is a part of life. Blockchain is a tech that promotes inclusion and diversity. It was created on that basis. Indirectly, it was about diversification amongst many and not just the few. It was about it, or it is about decentralization and bringing resources and assets to the everyday person who is open to learning and wants to get involved in this new tech, and not just people in power sitting in cushy offices with certain privileges available to them because of the school they went to, the country they were born in, the people that they know, the network that they have, the ability to access the internet. So privilege is not just, of course, relevant to skin tone, but it's also about where you're born and whom you're born to, where you're educated, and the level of education that you receive. But blockchain is simply about being open to learning, to sharing, to connecting, being transparent, having an attitude or a concept of trust, traceability, and immutability. And of course, the key case study that's come from blockchain is Bitcoin, and that is what Bitcoin represents. So Women in Blockchain Talks is a monthly event with a podcast to be announced very shortly this year. It is inclusive to both women and men. It is diverse and representative. And the reason why it's inclusive to both women and men is, for me, it is not congruent to talk about inclusivity and diversity and not include 50% of the population. When I say it's diverse because it is representative of women. And we're going to touch on statistics in a moment in regards to women in blockchain. But it's also representative of the diversity of women within the blockchain arena. Many times I've seen that when people talk about gender equality looks like one type of person, a white person, unless they're going for a token ethnic person. But generally it is a white woman, blonde hair from Europe, and that seems to be enough for some companies to say, we're diverse, we have women. My platform is about representation of all types of women from all sorts of backgrounds, because representation matters. It matters in our personal lives, it matters in our public lives, our private lives, and in our professional lives. It is empowering to see someone who looks like you, who may have a similar background to you, on a stage talking about a subject that you are interested in. And of course, this subject is blockchain. Now, I'm making the assumption most people on this webinar know what blockchain is. So, I'm not going to go into what blockchain is as a technology. If you want to know more about that, then that's something that I do talk about in my monthly events, I will touch on and, describe what blockchain is, define what blockchain is. But for this presentation, I won't be going into that. So it is diverse and representative, and it's not just about having an Asian person on the stage or a Black person on stage, because Black is diverse in and of itself. You have Caribbean people, African American people, Black people, you have African, you have Aboriginal. We're talking about melanin. When I talk about Black, I'm talking about melanin. So you have people from Southeast Asia with lots of melanin in their skin. We're talking about indigenous communities from Australia, New Zealand, Canada. Okay, so not to get political, but to me, Black is a political term anyway. So the point of what I'm trying to say is representation is not just about the color, it's not just about the gender, but it's also about culture. And when you have someone on the stage who not only looks like you, but has a cultural background to you, it is empowering, it is uplifting, and it changes your mindset. Something opens. And this is what Women in Blockchain Talks is about. It's about opening the possibility that you can be a part of this movement. You can be part of this growing and innovative industry, tech industry. So the focus of Women in Blockchain Talks is, of course, shining a spotlight on the dynamic and progressive women in the industry, the various, diverse, beautiful women in this industry that represents many women around the world. At an event, be it online or physical event, obviously because of COVID, we've had to focus on an online event. It is simply about connectivity, connecting us as a tribe, conversing. Nothing will get done, nothing will be created unless you're willing to have a conversation. And telling stories is a way of conversing or starting that conversation, collaborating and creating. We focus in Women in Blockchain, within the Women in Blockchain Talks community, we focus on education, funding, networking, and mentoring, as well as coaching. We hold masterclasses, which are around career, starting a career in blockchain technology, how to do that, education, and of course, branding. Self-branding is very, very important. And one of the key things that I've noticed with women who come to my event, they have a strong case of imposter syndrome. I wouldn't be able to do that. Can I do that? Do I have permission to do that? Am I allowed to do that? And these are the things that I want to break down within, or these are the things that not only do I want to, but I am breaking down within my community. So my community is on Meetup and on Telegram. If you'd like to join it and know more about it, then send me a message. Moving on to the next slide. So statistics and findings. So over the last 2 years, Women in Blockchain has grown from 8% to 12%. The source is taken from CoinDance 2020. So this is some research that they have done. The image on the right is of the first ever Women in Blockchain event that I did in the meetup. And then I changed it over because what happened was I just decided to get a contact of mine to share her story on the stage. It was called Women in Blockchain. And the response was powerful. People were like, that was one of the best blockchain events I've been to. I learned so much. It was really great to hear her stories. It wasn't about ego. And it really spoke to me. And I thought to myself, maybe this is what needs to happen, because different people, and I am generalizing here, but women, we learn by sharing, by communicating, by storytelling. People learn in this way, but more so women. Women are the art of storytellers. Generally, when you think about a parent telling their child a bedtime story, incorrectly or not, I'm all about gender equality, but it's generally women that we think of telling those stories. It's generally women who come together, share their stories, laugh, cry together, get real, uplift each other and empower each other to be the best that they can be. So again, that was where Women in Blockchain Talks stemmed from, that first event and the feedback that I got from the individuals. These were some of the individuals who attended the event. And as you can see, they're all very diverse. Diversity and inclusion is an important subject matter within the world of business. Black Lives Matter has obviously shown the importance of it, or highlighted the importance of it, the movement in the last week or so. Connection and education is very important. So these are the things that I have come across, or that's been highlighted to me since I started Women in Blockchain Talks. Connection and education is key to a number of my members, to a number of the people in my community. Now, yes, you have the hardcore developers, blockchainers, coders, and perhaps my community is not going to be right for them. And that's absolutely fine. We're all individuals and we take what we need from different communities. I'm in many communities. But ultimately, one of the key things that I came across when I started Women in Blockchain Talks, because I had a case of imposter syndrome. I'm not a technologist. I don't understand how to code. What can I offer to the community? And the truth of the matter was, I had a lot to offer. My business acumen, my business skills, my networking, my ability to network, my ability to uplift and coach people, my ability to empower individuals is what I can bring to the table. Those are my superpowers. And someone said to me, a technologist, a coder said to me, I've started 2 businesses and they've both failed. And I said, why have they failed? And she said to me, because I could do the back end, but I couldn't do the front end. I couldn't do the marketing. I couldn't do the connections. I couldn't build the networks. I couldn't do the business development. So one of the key things that I want to show the members in Women in Blockchain Talks is that there is a role for everybody, especially women, in this new tech, this new innovative tech, because blockchain is not just a technology, but it's becoming a business, an industry in and of itself. So again, community is very important to the members in my community. And one of the key things that I focus on, as you probably can touch on as I'm speaking, is self-development. Again, a lot of the issues that have come up is, you know, can I do that? A lot of women have said to me, I didn't know that I could come to your events because it said Women in Blockchain and I'm not a woman in blockchain. Of course you can come. And so one of the key things that I promote at my events is to be bold and be brave in who you are and what you want to become. Ask the questions rather than assuming. And in doing that, it will add more diversity and inclusion to blockchain, to the blockchain industry. And in my speakers sharing their stories, it helps them to understand that there is a place for them. And this is why storytelling is so powerful. And it's so powerful in right now within blockchain, because like I said, people learn and are inspired in different ways. And if you can just plant a seed by sharing your story as a diverse person, then you are making a difference. If you just touch one person's life, then you're making a difference. And I know in the 1 year since I started this platform, I have made a difference and I'm proud of that. And I'm helping, I believe I'm helping add to that growth from 8% to 12% in the last 2 years. So Women in Blockchain Talks interviewees, there have been developers, educators, brokers, marketers, business developers, strategists, investors. So with that being said, thought leaders. So with that being said, and as I just touched upon, and I'm just reiterating because it's important to qualify and re-qualify the purpose of your statements, that there is a room for everyone. You don't have to be a developer, you can be an educator. You don't have to be an educator, you could be a broker. Look at your skill sets, get involved with Women in Blockchain. or be a woman in blockchain ultimately. So the next Women in Blockchain Talks is going to be with Gayla Wessler from Plaza Technologies and Demarius Zampini, CEO of SUS Strategy. And this is going to happen on Wednesday, the 24th of June at 6:30 p.m. British Standard Time. Both of these ladies I have a personal relationship with, I've networked and I've connected with them over the last year, and they have a lot to offer, and I'm very excited to hear what they have to say during the course of our interview and the stories they are going to share. Demarius both of these ladies are from Canada. Gala is Israeli, and Demarius is from Latin America. So again, very diverse beings, human beings, women, bringing their experience, their skill sets, and their inspiration to the Women in Blockchain Talks platform. Are there any questions? Are there any questions? I'm not, so there doesn't seem to be any questions. Okay, right, so I'm not seeing any coaching. Oh, thank you, Clara. I appreciate. Oh, this is at Bianca. So it says at Bianca Salefo. I'm not really understanding who Bianca is. I can see it saying Bianca. Thanks, Bianca, for demystifying the behind scenes. Okay, so I'm a little bit confused, but that's fine. Okay, so, okay, right. So I think I've got to the session, my session. This is why I was getting a bit confused. Right, so I'm seeing some questions here. Great to see you, Renee. Definitely go outside your comfort zone. Thank you, Nawel. Thank you, Katin. Thank you, Safia, Olivia. Yes, let me share the links. So let me do that now. So that's HTTP. So actually, let me thank you, Brittany. How did I get into the field? All right, so I got into blockchain because I'm actually my background, and I still am a financial well-being coach, Alexandra. And when you teach financial well-being, you have to understand the history of money, how money is in the present, and the future of money. So of course that introduced me to the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And whilst I was in that world, I was introduced to blockchain. And blockchain, it really inspired me. I like what it stands for. And the fact that it's touching different industries, not just fintech and DeFi, and it's about social impact and financial inequality and dealing with financial inequality. And that really speaks to me as an individual and someone who is very purposeful about communicating the importance of financial well-being. I then worked with a personal identity, so data. It was all about data and personal identity blockchain company. And from there, the rest is history. And I noticed that there was a lack of women in the industry. I wanted to do something different. And so Women in Blockchain Talks was created. So the link I've put below. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Alexander. I will definitely connect with you. I hope I get to see the chat that's shared with me. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn as well. So that's Women in Blockchain Talks. And let me just get the other link. So I'm just going to go back to the presentation, and then I think that's going to bring this talk to a close. So let me just get the link for you. So Telegram, if you would like to join it. So let's go back. It's my Telegram link, so please join. And then this is the final slide. So I'm just going to go back. And this is who I am. You know, my mission is, I'd love to have equality in the world, but I don't think that's going to happen right now. We still have a long way to go. And, you know, the truth of the matter is I generally find that I'm the only person who looks like me, be it a Black person or Black female in the room. And I want more of us, more ethnicity, more diversity in a room, because it just adds more value and color and perspective to a cause, a community, a project, a mission, a vision. So these are all my details. So that's my email, the website, LinkedIn. So I'm going to just copy and paste all of this into the chat. And, you know, this is my quote: the art of storytelling is as old as time. Their impact on the listeners is timeless, creating catalysts of change and for change. So that's my quote. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for taking the time to be on it. Sarani, I'm not sure. I'm sure there will be, I can provide the slides perhaps in the community, my community. So yeah, that could be an option. I haven't been requested to give my slides over. So if you join the community, then I can connect with you and share the slides there. And finally, I'm going to share my quote with you. Yes, and that brings it to a close. So thank you once again for joining. And yeah, I think that brings it to a close. There is a moderator, I understand. So Delphine, is that how it works? Do I just sign off? Because I'm sure there's other sessions that individuals want to attend to. So I think, yeah, I'm just going to leave. So thank you once again for being part of this session. I hope you've taken value from it. And I look forward to connecting with you on LinkedIn. I also look forward to seeing you at the next Women in Blockchain Talks event, and also in the community, the Telegram community. Have a great day.